Today's heat didn't stop the Lexington Fire Department from competing in their annual Firefighter Combat Challenge. Every year, they host the event for firefighters across the region. Organizers say the challenge encourages and supports firefighter fitness and stimulates real-life physical demands of the job. Sabira Rayford was at today's challenge.
It's what they're trained to do.
Yeah, this is, basically what we do on a fire ground.
But today, there's no real emergency.
It's like a track meet, sort of, but with a bunch of firefighters and gear. It's fine.
It's called the Firefighter Combat Challenge. And today, firefighters from all over the country came to Lexington for their chance to go to the championship.
Yeah, we came all the way from Dallas-Fort Worth because it's worth it to be out here.
The challenge combines strength and endurance. As part of the challenge, firefighters have to climb a 5-story tower and carry a life-size 175-pound training dummy. Miranda Turner is on the women's team.
All these activities that we're doing out here are things that we do on the job every day. Hose pulls, sledgehammers, they're things that we do on the job. So it's really not getting us ready for the job, but the job gets us ready for this is the best way to think of it. And you're doing it in gear, which is even harder.
Organizers say the event encourages and supports firefighter fitness.
It's pretty hard, you got to be dedicated. It takes hours out of your day, practice and weight train.
But some say the best part is sharing the moment with their friends and family. In Lexington, Sabira Rayford, the Fox 56 10 o'clock news.
The World Challenge will be held in Montgomery, Alabama in October.
More than 90 firefighters fought their way through the 9th annual Lexington Firefighter Combat Challenge yesterday. They had to do this in the heat. Wow. Well, it was a test of strength and of endurance and of speed, of course. Firefighters dragged 175-pound dummies, hauling hoses, and sped up stairways in an effort to advance to the national championship and claim that world title. Now, dressed in their uniforms, veterans of the Combat Challenge can finish the course in less than 2 minutes.
When you put your gear on and when you put an FCBA, which is an air tank, you're looking at probably about 50 to 55 pounds worth of gear. And that stuff's not cool. It's hot. It protects you, And when you go up the stairs, we don't use elevators and, these high rises. You may have to climb 30 flights of stairs in a matter of minutes,
I can attest that is very hard. To qualify, firefighters must travel to compete all over the country. The event starts again today at 10 o'clock. That'll be at the Hilton Suites at the Lexington Green.
And a former firefighter in Ohio is training for the Combat Challenge. It's considered the toughest 2 minutes in sports. This year's event will be his first since a freak accident left him unable to work. Emily Wood talked to him about making history.
At the Franklin Fire Department, former volunteer Michael Deal still feels at home, even though he hasn't geared up or been on a run in more than a year.
If you're willing to work hard, nothing can stop you.
5 years ago, addicted to competition, Deal started competing in the heart-pumping Firefighter Combat Challenge.
Come on, Mike. Go!
The training is intense and rigorous, and the competition, if you're really good, lasts less than 2 minutes, but they call it the toughest 2 minutes in sports.
This year, Deal is back to training and ready to compete as the first ever upper extremity amputee.
When the truck hit me, it pinned me to this wall right here, dragged me along the wall, and when it got to the corner of the wall, shattered my arm around the wall.
In March of last year, Deal lost his right arm while trying to help park a truck in the firehouse.
22 pounds.
No longer able to serve as a firefighter, Deal refused to give up the Combat Challenge.
Being a firefighter was my greatest accomplishment in life, and it's the greatest job in the world. There's nothing I'd rather do. But since I can't do that anymore, I'm going to use what happened to me to inspire others. Pain is acceptable, crying is acceptable, puking is acceptable, blood's okay, but quitting is not. You can never quit.
That was Emily Wood reporting. Deal will compete with a partner in the tandem competition in Indianapolis next week. If he finishes under 2 minutes, he will qualify for the world competition.
Sioux Center played host for what's called the 2 toughest minutes in sports. It's the Firefighter Combat Challenge, and ABC 9 News reporter Bria Bell brings us the highlights.
Firefighters competed in a fitness competition battling for bragging rights.
There's no money. It's all ego.
The obstacles the crews face simulated movements equivalent to motions fire crews exercise on scene in real life.
The big deal is the physical fitness. These firefighters are the best of the best. And if you have them on your crew, they build the crew with them.
Ask any firefighter, today's competition was not for the weak and the feeble.
It's not easy by all means. We've been training as a department for about 10 years.
Fire departments from across the country and parts of Canada made for fierce competition.
I would say today we have them from Carlsbad, New Mexico. We had a Canadian team here. What do we have? Probably 17 different stations are represented here today in Sioux Center.
Though all participants were striving to beat record time, the most important aspect of it all was reaching the end goal.
My favorite part of the course is to finish on the finish line. Yeah, when you can go underneath that finish line and know that you have finished that course, carrying that dummy is a big accomplishment. Yes, it is.
And the fastest time ever for completing the combat challenge has been clocked at 1 minute and 15.52 seconds in Montgomery, Alabama last year. And if you remember, I tried it out myself this year and didn't get anywhere near that time. Bill is one of the extreme ones. How so? Well, he competes in what's called the Firefighter Combat Challenge.
Come on, Cody!
ESPN has called it the 2 toughest minutes in sports. It involves a series of fire-related drills in full firefighter gear, even with a breathing mask on. Why he thinks this is the ideal way to practice?
Doing the stuff that would be done on a fire ground, which is also in the Firefighter Combat Challenge, has actually got me to, I would say, get my times down. It's been a rough journey, but it's been fun.
Fancy shoes off, right?
Fancy shoes off.
Okay.
I obviously had to try. First challenge, putting on the 60-pound gear in 80-degree heat. Next up, simulating the pulling of a hose from the top of a tower. By the way, I was done after that. Then, running a slalom course with the gear on. Next up, grabbing a hose, putting it on my back, then moving forward, ideally hitting a target with water.
That's how the pros do it.
As for the dummy, my last task, well, Bill had to continue, and I only passed a fraction of the course, and no breathing mask, and no added obstacles. So why all this?
Do you want you rescuing you? And yeah, I want me rescuing me. And I'd like a few other people in the department to know that they can rescue me.
Our live audience today is from the Virginia Beach Fire Department, and they're here today to tell us about the Virginia Beach Firefighter Combat Challenge coming to Mount Trashmore this weekend. I want to introduce 2 of our friends here on the Hampton Roadshow, Battalion Chief Billy Reynolds and also Captain Keith Ashbury. Thanks to both of you for being, and it's nice to see you again.
Yep, thank you very much.
A few years ago, I think you put Don Roberts and I through something similar, and it was really, really tough. I don't think people understand how physical this job can be.
It's very physically demanding, and that time that you and Don came out, we had you in full gear with the bottles on at our fire training center, and having you run through all 5 events, which simulates, it's exactly what the Firefighter Challenge is. And you felt how difficult it was, so you imagine what firefighters across the country do every day, you know, having that gear on in a bottle. So it's physically demanding and very rigorous on our bodies as well, wearing all that turnout gear and working for long hours depending on the type of incident that we go to.
So tell me about how this training, which is a kind of a normal part of your life, has now become an event that the public can see, and what is the response like when they do?
Well, I mean, I think the challenge has been around, Keith, for what, 25 years?
Yeah, I think it's about 25 years. It started in the 90s, and it started out as a study to test firefighter fitness, and it's kind of evolved into a competition, which has totally grasped a lot of firefighters across the country to be better physically fit.
Okay, so, I mean, you could count all the benefits there. It inspires all of the folks within the ranks to maintain their fitness, which is critical to job performance.
Yes.
Maybe gets the public interested and excited. I would imagine this is probably a pretty good recruiting tool, too, for folks who are contemplating what they want to do for a career. and want something that is going to require them to maintain their fitness.
Yeah, and the event kind of demonstrates all the rigors that we do. So the first actual event that you're doing is running the stairs, which simulates a 6-story tower in full turnout gear. And once you come off the tower, then you're hitting a forcible entry sled, which you did that day with the Kaiser machine. So you're driving a 160-pound steel I-beam with a 9-pound shot mallet. So that simulates us forcing entry to any type of structure. And then you move on to the hose drag, which is dragging a hose in and out of a structure. And then you go in, actually, we missed a part of it, which is the hoist.
Well, you know what? I mean, folks will see all the parts if they come out to Mount Trashmore.
Absolutely.
I want to use the few seconds we have left here wisely. There's a couple other people we really should introduce who are sitting up here on the stage today.
Well, I mean, you've got Captain Keith Ashbury and also Master Firefighter Daniel Harrell. He's part of the competing. Yep. So we've got our competitors here, and Brian Marty. And then one of the real helpers back here is Captain Mumflet, and he is actually behind the scenes and putting the event together, as far as our team. And we have the support of our administration and also through the city and Parks and Recreation and all our local sponsors that are helping us bring this event to Virginia Beach. And it incorporates bringing firefighters throughout all of Hampton Roads, both not just locally, but also throughout the country. And we even have competitors coming in from Canada.
Wow. All right. Let's let folks know how they can go. And, of course, one more person, Art Khan, former teammate here at Wavy TV, now full-time with the fire department. All right, nice to see everybody here. Virginia Beach Firefighter Combat Challenge is Friday and Saturday. It's out Mount Trashmore in Virginia Beach. You can go to firefighterchallenge.com.
Hey there, folks. Firefighters from across North America are in Virginia Beach, battling it out in the Combat Challenge. Now, this is one of the qualifying events leading up to the World Finals in October.
News 3's Kim Kung was there and has a firefighter's point of view of the challenge. So, Kim, how tough was it?
Beverly and Kurt, I spent the afternoon there, and they say it's the toughest 2 minutes in sports, and after seeing what these guys do, I completely agree. Now, I got a Virginia Beach fireman to strap a News 3 GoPro to his helmet while he did the course, and we get to see the course from his eyes.
Racing up a 3-story tower.
You propel yourself 41 feet in the air. Some of these guys will do it in like 12 seconds, which represents about 1.5 horsepower.
Knocking back a heavy sled, similar to breaking down doors. These are some of the challenges these firefighters are completing. Markel Davis with the Virginia Beach Fire Department has been running the challenge since 2008, and he strapped a News 3 GoPro on his helmet to show his point of view.
Felt very fast off the start. Got around, the guy was pushing me pretty good. He was actually a fast guy I was racing. Got to the dummy and my legs were just smoked.
Davis's legs may have been feeling the burn, but he says these are all things firefighters feel when they do their job.
Stairs also, we got a lot of hotels and high rises around that we train for and run the stairs for that too, so it all kind of converts over.
Well worth it, and it's made me a better firefighter.
The exact reason the founder of the Combat Challenge is proud of what he created.
We have thousands of firefighters who I think their lives have been altered, and concomitantly the people that they serve have benefited greatly by the fitness that we've brought with us.
So how tough do you have to be a firefighter?
I would say pretty tough and have a lot of heart. We're running in when everybody else is running out.
Now, Markel's legs may have been feeling the burn when he was lifting that dummy, but he still finished 5th.
Every year, cancer firefighters have to pass a grueling physical test that many people couldn't finish. It's a test of all the skills a firefighter could encounter in a real fire. News 13's Ray Bogan took it yesterday morning.
Some call it the fastest 2 minutes in sports. The firefighter combat test will make your entire body sore, your lungs burn, and challenge your intestinal fortitude.
The firefighter combat challenge was designed to actually replicate moves that are done on the fire ground: hoisting hose, forcible entry, of course climbing stairs, dragging hose, and if need be, pulling out a dummy or a victim.
Casper firefighters compete in the World Tournament every year and consistently place in the top 15.
I think it says that we have a good fitness level at our department, but also that we're here to compete, and we can compete with the other competition out there.
Go!
Here's the challenge. Pick up the fire hose and run up 5 floors. At the top, put the hose down and step onto the platform and pull another 40-pound hose hand over hand to the platform and over the rail. Then back down the stairs to the forced entry simulation, followed by a 140-foot sprint to the 235-pound fire hose. carry the hose 75 feet and spray. Then finish by carrying a 185-pound dummy 100 feet.
It's going to be difficult, and what I like to tell people is to be like a shark. Set a pace and stick to that pace. Don't slow down. You're not going to recover on this.
To stay on the job, firefighters have to finish in less than 7 minutes. I finished in 3 minutes. Combat team members finished in less than 2, and the world record is 1 minute and 16 seconds. Casper firefighters have a long history of strong competitors.
I saw them compete and actually win this competition, and it really inspired me, so that's why I wanted to do it.